What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the first episode of this podcast. Now, today, I'm not in a good mood. I'm really not. I'm kind of fed up with life right now, especially with Corona. Here's the thing, my license is going to expire soon, and I need to get a new one because it's not really a full license. And I need to get my after nines before September. But there's just one problem. You see, I go to the DMV, I have my paperwork, I have everything. They're closed. They're fucking closed. And I don't understand that. Because then it says to go and fucking to a website to make an appointment. You go to try to do that, they're not even on the motherfucking website. So what kind of logic is this? You try calling them, they don't pick up. You know why? Because they're closed. Their website don't work. I don't get it. How are people supposed to get their licenses? How are people supposed to vote? But they can't because they don't have a valid license. Or one that's not expired at that point. Like you guys had since March to come up with a plan to help people out and get everything to normal, basically. And it's still fucked. So I don't get that shit. I'm sure everybody, it's not just me, I'm sure everybody's having a hard time thinking about that too. But it's unacceptable. I mean, I shouldn't like what if cops are doing license checks and you pull up and you don't realize your license is expired. And the officer goes takes a look and says, "Hey, do you know your license is expired?" He's like, "No." Well, what the fuck is the officer gonna have to say? Yeah, you gotta go get that fixed. You gotta go to the DMV. Oh wait, it's closed. Well, I don't really know what the fuck to do about that. I'm kind of in a tough situation. Like, that's not cool. You know, you can't have. This is not acceptable. You can't have this stuff. I mean, this is supposed to be a fixed thing. Like, I could run this country better. I could literally just be like, okay, we all wear masks already. I mean, everybody hates doing that shit, but we have to wear them. Okay, well, since you already have a limited number of people to go into a place and we're all wearing masks, I don't get why we can't just do that. I mean, instead of having to close down the whole fucking place and having to make appointments where they're not even showing up, it doesn't make any fucking sense. So, it really doesn't. The logic is gone. America is screwed. I mean, we're going back to school and everything's going to be different. I am not for online, people, okay? I'm just not. I think it's kind of stupid. I mean, yeah, there are people that like it, but I'm just not one of those people. I'll never be one of those people. And that's another thing that's really screwed up, because that's going to screw up many kids that are going into this and they don't know anything. I can't even imagine people growing up and being like, this is the norm. I would hate that. I would hate for people to have to deal with that. Because it's just stupid, really. Like, I bet people are going to be more antisocial now than ever. Just based on the fact that, quarantine and shit, people getting corona, they can't go and see their friends. They can't do anything. Especially if they're doing classes online. Like, what are you going to be able to do? You're not going to be able to have a life anymore. It's just not going to happen. And it kind of sucks to say that, but it's the truth. One thing I've noticed is people are just more rude. People are more or irritated, more scummy, really, too. You know, let me give you a little story here. All right. At my job, I have to deal with a lot of shit. I had to deal with people yelling at us, people lying, people, and not all of them are bad. But, there are a lot of people that are, like, majority are old and are more angry. But then we have scumbags who come in here and lie. Like, let me say something this. We had this one guy, he comes in and he says that we messed up and we did something wrong, which wasn't true. And before, I go into inspect stuff that was wrong. This guy, because we don't really inspect it. Our boss is, I don't agree with her methods, but she goes and she says, "Oh, just remake it." One, that's not. No, you don't do that. You got to inspect the stuff first, because if you go and do that, you're admitting that we did something wrong when we possibly did not. But anyway, this guy, he tries to pull stuff on us, like get like double meat and shit, which he didn't pay for, and you're not gonna get that, dude. You're just not. And you know, so he gets his stuff and leaves. But after the fact, I go to inspect, what he brings in, and it turns out he lied. That fucking dickhead lied. Okay, and I was fucking furious, dude. It's just how the fuck do you come into my store and lie straight to our faces and then say we did something wrong? Like, people don't ever fucking do that, all right? And if he ever comes back into that store, you can go suck my New York dick, okay? Because I don't give a fuck who you are. You don't go and do that. You don't go and mess up our establishment like that, dude. That creates a bad reputation for us when we didn't even do anything wrong. All right, and and he's probably not even from here. He's probably from a different state, just trying to get extra shit for free, which happens a lot, but still shouldn't happen. And then we got these other people. They come in, they get their stuff, and we have tables, but it's only a certain amount that you can sit at, and we have tables that have paper on them that say "Do not sit here." So you can understand our anger issues when we say, "Don't sit over there," and we're already warning you, and you go and fucking sit there. If you're one of these people, don't ever do that again, because it's not our fault that we have to enforce that. It's just the law, okay? We had this one group of friends go in there, or at least looked like to be a group of friends or whatever, and they go in there, they get their food, they sit down, and of course they sit down at a table we specifically said not to be at. And the guy has the audacity, when we go to say don't sit, like we say, "You guys gotta move, you can't sit there," all the other friends get with the program, but this asshole, this inbred, has the audacity to say, "How about you guys stop being some bitches and start doing your job?" Well, that motherfucker can get the fuck out of your store. Our store, actually. Get the fuck out of our store. We're not going to take your shit. And if people think you can treat people who make minimum wage like that, no sir. No way. I'll gladly say get the fuck out and not even think twice. Because we will not be treated like that. Alright? No way, bro. And people, I know it's very difficult to have to live in a society that a lot of things are closing down and a lot of things have, bigger changes. But listen, we don't want to have to say you cannot sit there. We don't want to have to interrupt you when you're eating, say, "Yo, you gotta move," you can't, or you can't even be inside, okay? Because I don't want to. It's an uncomfortable conversation to have. You think I want to go and say, "Hey, you gotta get the fuck out"? Like, I don't want to have to say that. It's uncomfortable to even have to talk. But it's just something that has to do. And it's partly you have to follow the rules. It can't just be you can do whatever the fuck you want and expect to get away with stuff. No. If we see you sit down in a place you're not supposed to be, we're going to say something. And don't be so shocked when I say you have to get out or move. Like, I literally had this one guy tell him not to, you can't sit there. I was very kind. He's like, "Why?" "Because of Corona." Then he starts laughing. In his family setting where they're allowed to sit, but there's not enough room. Pull up a fucking chair, bro. It's not that hard. You don't have to sit where I sit. And he gives me a whole attitude. He's like, "Well, can I at least sit with my family? Can I at least finish my sandwich?" I'm like, "I guess so." No, you cannot. You cannot fucking do that, dude. Alright, are you dumb? It literally says right there. Because, you bring all your friends in there. You gotta think. We have a whole, you come during a rush, we have a whole people already sitting in there. We already have max amount of people sitting in here. So you can't bring your whole family in expecting to sit inside. Dude, it's the summertime. How do you go to the lake and do something else? But don't give me a fucking attitude, dude. I will not have it. Alright? sons of bitches. People are just scumbags nowadays, dude. I don't understand. I mean, not all people are bad, okay? Not all people are bad, but they lack a certain kind of thinking to be understanding. Like, understanding is the most important thing in this world. You have to be understanding because, nobody wants to be a bad person and just, tell you what you can and can't do. I mean, nor should they have to. If you're a full grown adult, you should listen to the law. I mean, that is not hard to do. I really feel like it's not. It's fucking not, dude. You have to have an adult mind frame, and even adults don't sometimes have that, and it's sad to see in this world. I mean, I really don't know. And people are so afraid of getting corona, they don't want to even be like seeing each other or distance or whatever. Social distancing doesn't work. I can literally go into Walmart, okay, and it says do not enter. I'll literally fucking enter it. You know who stops me? No one. Because nobody fucking cares. Okay? The social distancing thing is stupid when you have a mask on. It's just you have a fucking mask. It's what the social distancing is eliminated once you do that. Like, you have a mask on, I don't really see the point. That's why the social distancing was at first, for not having a mask 6 feet away. Having a mask, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I really don't see why people just don't get this, man. I mean, masks are really for people who are sick, The healthy people really shouldn't even be wearing them, but I don't know. The world's fucking stupid. And what's with people, like, people are so scared of, getting corona, but they have no problem coming up to you asking questions. It's like, I was with my dad, and we're at Walmart, we're exiting, and this old fucking guy comes up to us, and he's like, young man, I think he's talking to me, he's actually talking to my dad, where'd you get that face shield? And he starts talking about, I don't even know how irritating he is, and somehow gets on the topic of delivering shit, weed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And after he leaves, I'm like, do you know that fucking guy? Do people just do that? Just come up to you, strangers, just come up to you and ask you fucking questions? Because if somebody did that to me, I'll just be like, yo, you gotta fuck off, bro. I don't fucking know you. Why are you even in my business? Corona, dog. Social distancing, am I right? It doesn't fucking matter. I mean, seriously, what's wrong with people? You guys are strangers coming up to people, asking them stuff. It's like, don't be so shocked if we are kind of freaked out a little bit, because we have no idea who the fuck you are, and here you are with your old ass coming up and asking us questions. It's like, we don't have to answer you, and don't be offended if we don't. Alright, people, I hope you like this video. I hope you share it. And please subscribe to the podcast channel. And, yeah. So, without further ado, have a great day, great night, wherever you're listening to this, and, peace.